Welcome everyone. I'm Sister Devajin and we'll be today doing Mr. Thiru Sandam, CEO of Sunshine Healthcare. Mr. Sandam, first of all, thank you for giving this opportunity to interview you. First, I would like to ask who is Mr. Thiru Sandam? Please tell us about who you are and you joined towards success.
Okay. So if you ask me who I am, I play a lot of roles. So first thing I say is sometimes I'm, of course, both the parents are passed away, so I was a son for them. Then I play a role of a father to my children. Play the role of a husband to my wife. I'm a boss to my teammates in office, and meantime I'm a subordinate to my boss, peer to many. So multiple roles, and also I still keep studying. So I'm a student to my teachers. I'm doing my BBA even now. And also I do lecturing, so I have my own students, so I'm a teacher to them. So it's a multiple role. But again, to come specific into your question, I'm the CEO of Sunshine Healthcare, and I've been a CEO for the last 10 years. And if you talk about my journey, I'll elaborate more as we go on. I started as a medical representative at the age of 19. I'm happy to say at the age of 40, I became a CEO, and that has been my journey. But last 32 years, I've been sticking on to the healthcare industry.
Here then my question is, what kind of a characters were you in your school life, and can you explain about your school life?
Okay. During school life, I was a very passive character, and I was very silent, timid, and I would say only when I started working after 19 years, I think I came out of the shell, facing this world, putting on to the self. Any particular moment which changed my life during school days was when I was 11 years old, was the 1983 July riots. Ever since our family they split into 5, we were together as one unit. But ever since that 83, we were in different places. That's the time I had to be boarded. Initially started with my uncle, and then later on I was in my own school boarding. So from the age of 11, I had to take care of myself. At the age of 11, I had to wash my clothes, iron my clothes, take care of myself. I think that gave a lot of responsibility, which I would say one of the biggest turning point for me to achieve my success.
And as the CEO of Sunshine Healthcare, how did you overcome the challenges posed by the COVID?
COVID-19 was a bigger challenge out of many we faced, and I think in one word, if you tell me what was the biggest, is how to accept change. We were all glued to the norm. Like, we had a particular way of doing business, and of course the economic crisis in Sri Lanka added on to it, it made more further change. One big word is to change. So some of the challenges were, we had supply chain challenges, we had lockdown challenges, people could not come to work because of safety, and we being in healthcare, we were compelled to come because we deal with essential medication. So we were asked to come while our employees were worried of their own safety. So one big word is how to change, how to adapt was the biggest thing, and we overcame that. We found ways and means, and we adapted to the change and embraced, and that's how we were successful.
Then my question is, do you believe AI will play a role in the future of the health sector?
Definitely yes. I mean, not only future. I mean, just now he asked a question on COVID, because during COVID pandemic, one of the biggest aim in the healthcare industry was to develop a vaccine. And generally, unlike any other new products in healthcare, especially the pharmaceutical or even for vaccines, developing a new product takes a long time. You got to keep testing, you got to develop a new molecule formulation, research and development take a long time. So the entire healthcare industry was focused on bringing out or innovating a vaccine in the shorter possible time. So it's the AI which helped. The artificial intelligence helps in a bigger way. So that helped big time into develop and come out with the vaccines, especially in the Western world where you and I, we were able to get the vaccine as fast as possible. So AI helped. Way forward, definitely yes. When it comes to precision medicine, like cancer, they call it in the oncology area, where there will be a lot of precision medicine, where there will be tailor-made medication for you, where things like AI will play a bigger role. So I would say when it comes to precision medicine, in oncology, and in research and development, AI is going to play a big role in the healthcare industry.
So in your life, what was the turning point made you who you are?
from the age of 11, going into the own on myself, taking responsibility, made a change. But the turning point, I would say, at the age of 19, where I had to take a decision. So the intention was to go to the university, because unlike you today, where there are many options, we didn't have much options. So it was a state university and we didn't have many options, so there were not many overseas universities which offered courses like NSBM, where you're following your own universities. There weren't much options. So when the marks, it's a small percentage who entered the state university, even though I got to my A level, I had to, it was not adequate to enter the medical faculty, so I had to make a change, or I had to make a choice. Am I going to repeat and continue and study and enter again, or am I going to start? So one of the biggest turning point was I took a decision on my own that I'm not going to repeat, I'm going to start working. And while working, I'm going to progress in whatever the industry that I chose. And in that, I'm going to study and develop my areas, what is needed. Subsequently, I got the CIM diploma and the MBA. And as I said, I'm doing my BBA now. In that, I chose that. I think that was a big turning point where I decided to work at the age of 19. And that was my sole decision. And parents said, they took a sink or swim attitude. If you do well, we are happy. But if something goes wrong, you got to take the responsibility. And I took the challenge and moved on. I think that was a big turning point. So since I started working at 19 years, today I have 32 years of experience in the same healthcare industry.
Then one of the clarifications is, what are the challenges that you faced as a CEO of Sunshine Healthcare, and have you overcome this?
Cost element goes up, then we got to manage profit. The third challenge I would say would be managing the profits. Because when the cost goes up, the profit comes up. So how are you going to manage the profit? So to answer your question, I would answer in 3 P's. P for people, P for performance, P for profit. This is one of the biggest challenges as a CEO.
So Mr. Sanda, how do you balance your work and family life?
Okay, that's another tough question. So personally for me, I have a different schedule, and that's something increasingly becoming more demanding. So personally, if you ask my routine, I'm from Kandy. I work in Colombo. Last 32 years it has been the case. My workplace has been always in Colombo. So every Monday I come down, I work, and then when I come here, I work. So I prefer to be a workaholic than an alcoholic. So I work, and Friday I go back and I spend quality time with my children, family. That has been the case. But in general, if you say today, people say work life, you work 8 to 5 and 5 to whatever time is your personal life. I think it's becoming very, very difficult because the demand is increasing, it's becoming very demanding, and so is from your family side. So I always say, when you are at work, you may have your child's parent-teachers meeting where you might have to attend to your child's meeting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Same way, when I'm on a Sunday, I'm at home, there may be a budget or some urgent meeting needed by the board of directors or some information which needs to be submitted. I may have to do it at home, being at home. So I can't say no for that, and I can't say no for this. So work and life are integrated one to other, and it's very difficult to separate. You can't just separate and say this is work, this is life. Both work hand in hand or hand in glove. So it's very important you get quality time. You spend quality time at work. When you work, you spend your quality time, and same way you spend quality time at home, so that you're mentally, physically, you're spending that quality time. So that's how you manage it, and that's how you get that real balance of both, which is important. Apart from that, another thing I adapt is 2-day. It's a standard break I take, Saturday, Sunday, going home. Wherever possible, I get holidays, and once a year, once in 2 years, if possible, I get the whole family out of the country, where we take about 5 to 6 days out of the country and spend and come back. So it's very important we recharge ourselves, re-energize ourselves. I mean, that's why in the corporate sector you're given annual leave for you to take, recharge, re-energize yourself and come back. So my personal style has been that. This is how I do, and today it's becoming more and more demanding. So one should not get bogged down to only to work. Only the family doesn't work. It's important to balance both and move on, and especially as youngsters, it's very, very important that you get it right from the start, so that you manage both, because work and life are part and parcel of one's life. I hope I answered that.
Finally, what kind of advice would you give to younger generation to motivate?
I can give a lot of advice, but I would put the story of myself. which actually I wrote in a book. I don't mind showing that to you. So in this book, I put all the mantras. I call it the 7 mantras for success, which help me to overcome my challenges. So I always feel if one of them can help the youngsters, definitely it's going to move in a big way. So in that, my number one advice or my number one mantra is have a vision. Your uni has a vision, NSBM has a vision, countries have vision. But when youngsters come for interview, what would you like to do? Somebody will sit and wonder. I ask, then again sometimes when they are unable to answer, I rephrase them. What would you like to retire as? Then they said, someone not thought of. So I always say, figure it out early. When you are young, have a vision. That's my number one mantra. Second mantra is be passionate about it. It should not be something coming from your parents. Your father should not say, son, do this degree and this one, or do this software engineering. It should not be coming from both. Or just because your sisters were software engineers, you should not become a software engineer. Something that you like, be passionate about it. Or some say, oh no, my girlfriend is in the class, so I'm going to go. But if that doesn't happen, no, you own it. Because when you're passionate, you're doing that likingly, and no one need to ask you to study. Because you like the field, you research, you study, and that industry you're going to work, and you enjoy work. I mean, no, you're not going to, mama is not going to come and wake you up, hey, go to work. Why? You're waking up to enjoy what you want, and in the process, you're earning your money. So I always say, be passionate. So when you do for something else, somewhere you're going to stop and say, this is not what I want in life. So always choose what you like. So first have the vision and choose something that you're passionate about, what you like, something closer to your heart. And you should be in a situation where you're doing your hobby and you're earning your money. So doing your hobby, nobody is going to remind you. You're not going to look at your wristwatch, hey, I'm going to stop here. You will go on and on and on. So being passionate is my number 2 mantra. Third one is plan and prioritize. I always say I wake up in the morning having 21 things to do. I don't have the time. You, me, the richest person, the poor person, we all have 24 hours. So we need to manage the time. For me, time definition is B to D. So people ask, is it from breakfast to dinner? I say, no, birth to death. Our time is birth to death, B to D. In that, we got to manage our time. We all have 24 hours and each year, you will be blowing the candle and you will be celebrating your birthday 1 year gone. So you got to manage your time. So for that, you have to plan. I always say, failing to plan is planning to fail. So plan. In that plan, you have to do this. For example, at the age of 19, I started work. I thought before 25, I'm going to finish my diploma, which is equivalent to a degree. At 30, I'm going to start my MBA. Before retirement, I'm going to have my DBA. Right? And this is the age I'm going to own my car. This is the age I'm going to have my own house. So those were all planning which went into, so that I was able to drive my life. And also, you got to prioritize. So plan and prioritize, because I told you, we have 21 things to do. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Become that time is gone. You stop it. So what are the topics? So today between going to movie and studying, you choose which is your priority based on your vision. Going on a trip versus this, you choose your priority. I have priority. As I sit and talk to you now, I can do something else. So I prioritize. I'm with you. Right? So that is planning and prioritize, which is my third one. The fourth one, make sacrifice. When you choose priority, you got to sacrifice. So between watching a movie and studying, if you are choosing to study, then sacrificing the movie is your sacrifice. You want to achieve something, you got to sacrifice. For me, doing my MBA for 2.5 full years, every weekend I was inside the university. At that time, I had 2 grown-up school-going children who were 5 plus and 7 plus. I still went to the uni and I go home only to weekend. You can ask Ashik, I go only for the weekend. Every Fridays I go, come back on Mondays. So 2 days I'm in the country. Those 2 days I was fully inside the uni just to get that Master of Business Administration, which was more of a learning, helping me in my career to grow. So if you have to achieve something, you got to sacrifice. So my number 4 mantra is sacrifice. Number 5 mantra is change. Already I told COVID changed us. The economic crisis has changed us. 20 liters fuel quota changed us. Inflation has changed us. So you can sit and cry, but we got to accept change, embrace change, and adapt to change. If you migrate, Canada is going to be different. If you go to Canada, the climate is going to be different. I go to that, right? You got to adapt to it. You go to Australia, it's a different culture. You got to adapt to that. So you got to change. So if you have to be successful, change is my number 5 mantra. The 6th one is take risk, take calculated risk. You can't be thinking of the deep end not to jump and also think of swimming. If you want to be a swimmer, from baby pool, I say go to the shallow end, go to the deep end, go to the sea, go to the deep sea, and end up swimming tsunami. That's your life journey. So you can't be thinking, hey, I'm afraid. No, so take risk, take calculated risk. And last but not least, my seventh mantra is integrity. It's all about how true to yourself. I mean, rest of the world you can cheat, but you can't cheat yourself. So be true to yourself, be true to the core of your vision, and see that it happens. So these were my mantras which had helped me, and this is what I'll tell any youngster. You can pick one and work on it, and if it can help, you're going to achieve success, and it can achieve. So if you ask me, this is my advice to the youngster: have a vision, be passionate about it, plan and prioritize, sacrifice, change, take risk, take calculated risk, and have that integrity and be true to yourself. So that will be my advice for youngsters.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sandam, being a deep understanding of who you are as an individual. That's it, everyone. Hope you have learned something from this insightful interview.